Shaquille O'Neal, a dominant force in the middle, continues to overpower the NBA with his strength and agility. The Diesel has led the Lakers to the best record in the league atop the wild, wild Western Conference. Minnesota counters with their leader, Kevin Garnett. The big ticket with the all-around game continues his electrifying play. Yet the Timberwolves are winless in December. The Lakers and Timberwolves coming at you next on TNT. It is a chilly night here in downtown Minneapolis, 17 degrees and dropping. Luckily for us, we are inside the Target Center with another sellout. This is the NBA on TNT as tonight the Los Angeles Lakers take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Lakers right now the top team in the Western Conference. 4 consecutive wins. The Timberwolves have fallen so far, so fast, 7 consecutive losses. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside John Thompson and Cheryl Miller. But the Los Angeles Lakers are becoming the team that we all envisioned. They've got the best record right now in the NBA. They've got the best player right now in the NBA in Shaquille O'Neal, and arguably the best coach in Phil Jackson. But what they don't have is an NBA championship with this group. And until that is achieved, there will be a lot of questions about the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, John Thompson, how does Phil Jackson mix and match this very talented group?
Well, Kevin, actually, I think that's Phil's challenge because it's not sufficient for the Lakers just to do well during the regular season, just to enter the playoffs. The Lakers have to win a championship in order for Phil to feel that they're successful. In order to do that, you have to blend 3 key players. You have to blend Rice, you have to build Shaq, and you also have to blend the youngster who just came back. They call him Kobe.
Kobe Bryant is an outstanding player. Speaking of outstanding, Shaquille O'Neal has had a terrific beginning to this season.
Well, he's had a terrific beginning, and he's also had a lot of responsibility placed on him because when you talk about them offensively, here's a man that's averaging 26 points. He's getting 14 rebounds. He's shooting 58%. You know, and you talk about his shot blocking. Offensively and defensively, this young man, although very big, has a tremendously big responsibility placed on his shoulders.
They're like a traveling all-star team with Shaq and Kobe and Glenn Rice. All right, now how does Minnesota stop this group tonight?
Well, I think they have to do a lot of things. Right now, emotionally, they have to get up because they're coming off 7 straight defeats. They have a good young team, had early in the year a lot of spirit. They have to rejuvenate that and get that going again. But I think they've got to gimmick a lot. You've got to trap, you've got to keep Shaq from the ball, and then you've got to say a small prayer.
A very small prayer. We're going to send it to Atlanta next with Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and new guest Mike Fratello. And it's back here to Minneapolis with the Lakers and Timberwolves, all next on TNT. We're back in downtown Minneapolis, and this is the NBA on TNT. The visiting Lakers tonight with Glenn Rice, A.C. Green, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Ron Harper, the ex-Chicago Bull. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, the rookie Wally Szczerbiak with Kevin Garnett, Nesterovic, Anthony Peeler, and Terrell Brandon as we welcome in the 3rd member of our crew, and obviously the prettiest, Cheryl Miller. Good evening.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. And as you well know, this month has been anything but festive for the T-Wolves. But despite it all, Kevin Garnett has remained positive. He said the 2 things that he wants to concentrate on tonight is he wants to get his teammates involved in the offense early. In post-up situations, he wants to draw the double team to kick it out to his teammates. On the perimeter, he wants to drive, draw the defense, and dish to the open man. But more importantly, he wants to set the tone defensively. Put a lot of pressure on the Lakers. Let's see if he can do it. Kevin.
All right, sure. That sounds like a pretty good combination, John.
Well, it's definitely a pretty good combination, but it's also a lot of responsibility for a very young player that we have a lot of expectations for. He's capable of delivering, but it's still a lot of pressure on him.
So the Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers in their first meeting this year. Bernie Fryer's our crew chief with Tim Donaghy and Benny Williams. Place is filling up. And it's great to have you with us tonight on TNT. And the Los Angeles Lakers, the 16th leading scoring team in the NBA, begin it with Ron Harper, who knows that triangle offense as well as anyone. Into Shaq. And they flip it around to Kobe. Shot clock at 7. A pass by Garnett from O'Neal to A.C. Green. And a 3-second violation. Wipe it away. The Lakers can't convert.
Well, that's a good sign, particularly for the Timberwolves. They want to get a good start because they're coming off of, 7 defeats. It's always good to get yourself going a little bit, but yet not press too much.
It's Garnett to Brandon. Guarded by Rice, and now Bryant. Cross court to Serbiak, who has been battling knee injuries this season. The miss there, and the rebound by Harper. Ron Harper's had a bad leg, too. Got kneed in the thigh the other day, and so he's hobbling around. Here's Glenn Rice putting it up and in.
Now, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign, because when Rice is going well, you throw Bryant in there, and you know Shaq is going to give you something. It's going to be difficult.
Here's Misterovic from Slovenia. Kevin Garnett over A.C. Green. That's his first, and that's a good sign for Minnesota.
Very good sign, and that's the thing. Garnett is talking about distributing the ball, but I think he's their leader, and he's the person that's got to get started. And by getting started himself, his teammates will do well.
It's Peeler on Kobe Bryant, coming off a 30-point performance last night in Atlanta. Shot clock at 6 for Kobe. O'Neal steals it from Misterovic and puts it down hard.
I think Misterovic is in for a long night. I just don't think he's got the physical ability to contain Shaq in there, particularly when Shaq gets low.
You do. Anthony Peeler from outside. The ex-Laker with the miss. The rebound by Rice. Here comes Kobe with Serbiak right there. The screen by Shaq. Bryant flies inside and converts against the glass.
That's the difficult thing about him. In terms of running the triangle, he has so much individual ability that he feels that he can go anytime he wants to, and probably can.
It's Peeler with the Garnett screen to Brandon, leaning inside. He has been shooting well of late, although heavily criticized early in the year. This kid is beginning to find his niche.
Well, they need him to find his niche because Garnett has shown you so much of the responsibility that you need somebody like Brandon, who was brought here to help. He's got to be able to shoot the ball particularly well outside.
Ron Harper's shooting has improved of late, as evidenced by that three-point shot right there.
They both seem to be just warming up a little bit now. We're going to hit our pace in just about a few seconds here.
Lakers have gone 4 of 5. Kevin Garnett has gone 2 of 2. And Minnesota has started 3 of 5.
Well, particularly with Green guarding him in the post, I think Kevin feels that he can just turn and just jump right over Green.
It's Bryant to Shaq. Bulldozing the Misterovic, who finally got a hand on the ball and draws the foul. Working on Shaq, who got in foul trouble himself last night against Mutombo down in Atlanta.
Well, and that's the thing that scares me. If I'm Misterovic, I would be very much concerned about Shaq. Shaq's coming off of one of his worst offensive performances in a long time, Kevin. And I wouldn't want to be the guy to have to guard him the day after he had his worst day.
Well, got in early foul trouble, as we talked about. He has a career low in free throw shooting, just barely above 40%. But he is number 2 in scoring, even though those numbers wouldn't indicate it. Just 9 points, his second lowest output of the year.
Well, and when he does so many other things, sometimes his free throw shooting or his lack of free throw shooting is overemphasized. I think a lot of coaches would take his other production and live with that free throw performance he's doing.
Bring out O'Neal. Here's Garnett flipping it off to Brandon. He's gone 2 of 2.
And that'll help Garnett. If he starts hitting outside, Serbiak starts to shoot outside, that'll help him a whole lot more.
A combined 73% shooting by these two teams right here, including the Lakers shooting 80%. The Shaq screen on Brandon, and shy was Harper, and here comes Brandon the other way. Working on Kobe, launching it 2. His first miss with the rebound, and hailed by O'Neal.
Garnett said he wanted to get his teammates involved in the offense. I think he was talking about Brandon. He's the one who wants to get involved in the offense.
Garnett climbing on the back of A.C. Green. The ball is knocked away, and Kevin picks up his first personal foul. He's coming himself. The coach, Flip Saunders, in his 4th year with the Timberwolves. Garnett is coming off a 20-rebound performance against a pretty good front line down in Charlotte a couple nights ago.
Well, and that's the thing. thing, I think, for a youngster. He's been asked to do a lot of things. He feels the responsibility of having to do a lot of things, and he does. But his teammates have to blend in and give him some assistance, I think, because he's just too young.
I know.
It's not one of the hardest things I've done in my life. It's not one of the toughest times of my life, but for the present, it is, because, you know, I hate losing. Not only myself, but my team. And coming in night in and night out, knowing that, you know, knowing that you're giving it your all, and then walking away with a loss, that's very hard for me. And I'm just trying to keep my teammates along with myself inspired, trying to keep our spirit up, and just keep telling them that it's early in the year and that we can keep fighting back and that we can turn this thing around. You know, it's not like we're dead.
And, John, part of the problem is he is pressing, and thus the team is pressing with those December numbers.
Well, and it should be hard on him if he's lost 7 games in a row. A lot of kids today don't care whether they lose. They just care whether they look good. So I'm glad to hear him say that it's hard on him to lose.
After the Laker timeout, here's Shaq working on Nesterovic with an easy, gentle spinning shot, which won't go. The rebound by Minnesota's Terrell Brandon. The ex-Milwaukee Buck, the ex-Cleveland Cavalier. Outside to Garnett, who's 2 of 2 with his first miss there. O'Neal with another rebound. O'Neal, number 2 in the NBA in rebounding, and a charge on Harper of Los Angeles.
Well, and there's a great play by Peeler. He caught Harper coming back, not looking, and as is the case, he caught him, you know, really caught him by surprise. The big fella's dribbling it out. He handed it to him. He jumped over before he had an opportunity to turn. It was a great alert play.
Either team has changed their opening lineups. The starters all still in there. Brandon picked up by Bryant. Nesterovic with a bit of a screen, and back to Nesterovic with O'Neal brought out, and Brandon up high, dishing it off to Serbiak with 8 to shoot, and a foul is called on Glenn Rice, picking up his first of the game.
Kevin Serbiak is still favoring that leg a little bit. On the last rebound, I noticed he seemed to be jumping with one leg, and he doesn't have his ordinarily aggressive penetration that he usually has.
Brandon again, who's shooting well tonight. A 2-point shot right there. He has gone 3 of 4. He's got 6 points in the game for Minnesota. We're tied at 10. There's Harper down low, posting on Brandon. Outside to Bryant for 3. Rebounded by Nesterovic. Out to Brandon. Out racing O'Neal. Slicing inside. To Garnett!
Good penetration on Brandon's part. After hitting 2 jump shots, I thought he was going to pull up again. He did the smart thing. He penetrated to the line and dished it off to the big boy. You know, I'm surprised a little bit that the Wolves aren't doing a lot more gimmicking on their defense to create a tempo in this arena, and particularly when Shaq gets the ball. Now they're healthy.
Well, they just doubled him right there. Shaq missing, and up and down for O'Neal. Fighting inside. And now Shaq in the game, the second leading scorer in the NBA with 5 and 4 rebounds.
Well, and they said earlier that they were going to try to send, Flip Saunders was saying they're going to send help on Shaq because Shaq is just too physically strong. And here you see him getting an offensive rebound, and he's putting it back up.
Hitting the free throw right there. He does practice literally for hours on his free throw shooting as he hits his 6th point. The results just haven't been shown. Here is Brandon working on Bryant, controlling the perimeter. Trying to cultivate something inside, which he does with a nice drive to the rack.
Well, good penetration. He seems to be penetrating a lot more than I've seen him penetrate before, because usually he stays out and shoots the jump shot. By penetrating, he'll get Garnett some uncontested layups.
Here's Glenn Rice.
This is where the help has to come from, Kevin.
And you see it right there. Knocked away by Garnett. It's the 3rd Laker turnover.
Well, and if they play defense a lot more aggressively, they'll be able to get out and get some fast breaks. I don't think that they can just stand there because the Lakers are too strong physically for them, I think. Got to create some tempo on defense.
Brandon 4 of 5. And missing right there with Minnesota's first turnover tonight, and under 6 to play here in the first quarter. Lakers shooting 66%. Bryant to the rack. Flies inside for 2.
Well, at that point, it's not just the man that's guarding him. Some support should have come from somebody. He drove from the top of the key all the way to the basket.
Here's Garnett out to Nesterovic. O'Neal gave him room to shoot. Kevin gobbles it up.
That's what I like about him. It's not just standing outside shooting. It's a guy who doesn't mind going in there and getting dirty a little bit and getting hit and going in after the rebound.
He's got 8 points. Terrific shooting by both teams, both over 60%. Glenn Rice. Oh, what a stroke.
And that's always bad news. Now, in order for this team to be effective or a championship caliber team, I do feel that Rice has to feel very comfortable out there and has to make major contributions.
Kevin flips it out to Zerbiak. Nice ball rotation. Peeler to Brandon. Brandon has started 5 of 6.
He's really on fire. That's a good sign also, because that'll open up the middle for Garnett. Garnett's so quick and tall based on the matchups they have. If he hits that shot, Garnett will be fine.
And I'll grab on Kobe Bryant.
Talking about quickness, he's absolutely quick.
He's just, you blink an eye and you see him go by.
Absolutely.
Man, oh man. Lightning quick. How does a guy with his creativity, though, fit in the triangle offense?
Well, it's difficult. That's the challenge for him, and that's also the challenge for the coach, because you don't want to smother too much of it, but there's a time and a place for it.
Here's Garnett. Bullets a pass over to Zerbiak, guarded by Rice. Bill Jackson says Rice's defense has improved. Rice has lost weight, so he can thrive in this system, and here comes Bryant the other way.
Well, Zerbiak isn't getting any lift off of that shot. That leg is indeed bothering him.
A big step inside. Shaq is stripped to the ball. 3-on-1. Brandon to Peeler inside.
And that's what will happen if you start to become defensively more aggressive, start to trap, create some tempo in here, then you can utilize your crowd as the 6th man.
Minnesota guards have combined for 12 points. The Laker guards for 7. Both teams over 62% shooting. Bryant, the drive, the fake. Oh, what a shot! He brings you out of your chair.
What did you ask me about the triangle?
Wow!
You can do that in any offense.
Unbelievable. It's Garnett with the fake by Bryant. And a nice bench shot for Kevin. He's got 10.
Well, and I think you have to give Brandon a lot of credit for that, because he's not able to be doubled. He's not able to be snapped back on if his other players are shooting outside well.
O'Neal again, the quick double, and outside to Harper. They swing it off to Rice for 3. And rebounded inside by Bryant. Dancing through defenders. 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter for Minneapolis.
Well, see, and that's the trouble with doubling on Shaq. You've got to come back out, because if it's a long rebound, they're going to pick it up and get a second shot.
A.C. Green, he has outlasted so many. He has not missed a game in 13 years. He is the Cal Ripken of the NBA as Brandon moves through defenders and off a pitch. Launches the shot. Rebounded by Harper. Lakers 60% shooting. The biggest lead has been 5. Minnesota has led by as big as 3. Bryant and Peeler. Kobe Bryant. Right there. He's got some versatility to his game, doesn't he?
Well, he has a lot of versatility to his game. I just get the feeling that all of a sudden the Lakers are going to explode. They look like they're playing on cruise control right now, but all of a sudden, bang, you feel that they're going to just cut loose, because they have so much talent on this team that is capable of scoring.
Peeler the miss. Here comes Bryant the other way. Screened by Shaq. Bryant throws it away. Intercepted by Anthony Peeler. Through traffic, hits Garnett, and into Nastarovich, and knocked away by Ron Harper, who picks up the foul for the Los Angeles Lakers. Assessed his 2nd of the game. Look at this and marvel.
Well, and every time you see the stop, you see the break.
Timeout. Thank you, Ernie. They've won 7 consecutive games, John. They're on one of the longest road trips of the season, but Utah, and who would have expected they could revive themselves again? But sure enough, the same cast, the same result for the Utah Jazz and Jerry Sloan.
What do you say? Welcome to the NBA. Can you predict anything that'll happen?
No, you can't.
And that's what the fun is.
Minnesota has gotten some wonderful scoring from Garnett and Brandon, 20 points. I think the fact their guards are involved with the offense is a big factor for the Timberwolves tonight.
Well, it certainly will help Garnett, because if they're shooting outside well, and if they're getting out in transition, you're not going to be able to spot up. It's a lot of difference in spotting up on Garnett with 2 and 3 men, because he doesn't have the body structure that a Shaquille O'Neal. When you trap Shaq, if he gets his hand on the ball, you still have a problem. Garnett isn't physically and strong enough to deal with the same kind, so his players definitely have to hit outside.
But he's quick, and here's Brandon. Every chamber is filled for Brandon. He has started a blistering 6 of 8 from the field.
And if he has a good night like that, you certainly can expect Garnett to have one.
Rice throwing it inside to Shaq and knocked away by Nesterovic. He picks up his second foul. Dean Garrett is on the injured list. There are very few options Flip Saunders has. One of them is going to be an undersized 6'7" Tom Hammonds, normally a forward, going up now against Shaq.
Well, yeah, I think, you know, Hammonds probably has more strength than Nesterovic has, so it may be a factor. They're trapping when the ball goes back in the middle. The thing that they have to be careful of is that once the shot is taken, to return and box their men out, because the Lakers have been able to recover after a missed shot off of the doubles and triples that the Wolves are doing to Shaquille.
Shaq now in the game tonight with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Derek Fisher has come in for the first time at the point. They move Harper to the 2. There's Fisher with the bump on Brandon. Peeler, the shot clock at 5 for 3. Anthony Peeler can't get it down. The ex-Laker with the miss. The rebound by Shaquille. He's got 5. Under a minute to play now in this first quarter. Great shooting display by both teams. Lakers at 64%. It's Rice to A.C. Green. Rebounded inside by Green. Jousting with Garnett. Out of bounds and off Los Angeles.
Well, the Wolves have to take advantage. Once the shot is missed, you got to box out and get the ball, because Shaq is too much of a factor by himself. Rather than letting the other guys pick up loose balls like that, you're going to really have a problem. It's hard enough to negate Shaq's ability in there on the defensive board.
Brandon with a nice crossover move on Fisher. Oh, what a seductive feint by Brandon. 14 first quarter points. Rice outside, picked up by Serbiak. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. The spin on the 6'7" Hammonds, and Shaq eats him alive. Eats him alive.
As he does most people that have one-on-one coverage with him when he's in the lane with the ball.
Brandon for 3. The miss right there. The rebound by Rice. The clock will run out, and our first quarter has come to a close. A shooting gallery inside the Target Center. A sizzling 14-point performance in the first quarter by Terrell Brandon. Wolves shooting 56%, Lakers 60%. At the end of one, it's Los Angeles with the best record in the NBA, leading by 1.
Pressure is going out and competing every night and doing it at the level that, the all-star level that I can do it. And I think in spots I'm doing that, but I have to continually press myself to get to that next level. And it starts with me, and pretty much Flip let me know it's going to end with me. And I like that type of pressure. It's a great responsibility.
Oh, and Johnny's got huge shoes to fill, and those of Stephon Marbury. This team has not really excelled without Marbury.
Well, a very colorful player, and a player who is very popular here. But anytime you lose 7 games in a row, even Usher has pressure on him.
Oh, really? We begin the second quarter. Malik Sealy is in. Tom Hammonds feeds inside to Garnett. Guarded by Robert Horry, who is improving within this system. Missing the shot there. Another rebound and hailed by O'Neal. He's got 6 already in the game. We've had 12 first quarter lead changes coming into the second quarter. Shaq. Now that's what they want from Hammonds. They want some kind of physical challenge into Shaq.
Well, and he has a body weight to do it too. You know, but anytime you get the ball to Shaq in the middle like that, you almost are helpless. And so, you know, he's going to try to make it from the free throw line, and he just hammers him, as you can see on that last play.
Here is the $17 million a year player, Shaquille O'Neal, standing on his first right there. And Tuesday night on TNT, it's the Phoenix Suns and the San Antonio Spurs. Wednesday, John and I will be down in Miami as the Utah Jazz will take on the Heat. Then the Celtics take on the Kings on Tuesday, December 28th on TNT. 8 o'clock Eastern. All those games.
Weather be a little bit different, won't it?
It was 15 degrees and falling the last time we checked out.
Take a taxi to walk 3 blocks. Go 3 blocks.
Brandon outside to Malik Sealy, coming off a 27-point performance Wednesday in Charlotte. The rebound by a revived Rick Fox. Fisher driving into Brandon, and a foul is called on Terrell Brandon. Number 1 on him.
Well, the thing that I liked at the other end of the court is that the Wolves appear to be penetrating a lot more. And I think if that happens and you have poor shooting, when the support comes, you'll get some of your big guys some easy baskets as opposed to just standing there.
Here's Fisher at the free throw line, a meager 68% from the stripe. As you take a look at Terrell Brandon, the 2-time All-Star, and there's Fisher, a guy, another great find by Jerry West, a second-round pick.
Well, and Jerry knows how to put a team together. I mean, this kid is a kid who comes in, he's feisty. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the huge ego to worry about when and how, as long as he's going to play. But I've noticed that he's getting starter time. He's still coming in, he's getting great time, but he's an activity guy.
And Phil Jackson likes the big guards. And this kid does not fit that mold, but he does bring a different kind of presence for Jackson.
Well, and you like a lot of things when you coach, but you got to work with what you have, and this kid makes the best of it.
Here comes Brandon back to Garnett. Driving and colliding with O'Neal. The ball is jarred free. It's Bryant through traffic, flying inside and missing the shot, and a foul is called on the play.
Maybe Shaq did not hit Garnett hard enough.
Malik Sealy picks up the foul for Foot Saunders Timberwolves.
If you look at the amount of tension that was applied to the foul at this end of the court, and then you look at what happened down the other end with Kobe, you'll see that probably Shaq made far more contact at the other end than was made on Kobe at his end of the floor.
Here's Kobe Bryant at the free throw line. You will see on his shooting hand, it almost looks like a baseball, Major League Baseball batting glove. Craig Biggio, for instance, wears one of these things, and it's protecting a bone that was broken in the preseason. It is healed now, but he did miss 6.5 weeks.
Well, and it hasn't affected his touch that much. It's probably more a security blanket at this point than it is anything.
Garnett over Orange. Rebounded by O'Neal, who collects his 7th rebound of the night.
The thing I'm noticing is that there's more movement in the Timberwolves offense now.
Across the lane, Bryant. Oh, he's a high wire after he takes it inside.
And he's pretty good at it. I mean, this kid is so good off the dribble and creating his stuff on his own that it's very difficult to put him in a set system, but when you're effective, you forgive him. You know, I mean, he's just so doggone quick and elusive.
What incredible charisma this kid has. He just does so much on the floor. Grew up in Italy watching tapes of Michael Jordan. I think you can see a little bit right there.
The Lakers lead the T-Wolves 32-26. Well, there used to be just one glove in the league, and that was Gary Payton. Well, now there's another famous glove, and that's the Kobe Bryant. This is the original glove. Now, missing is an inserted pad that protects the hand where the hand was broken. Now, Kobe obviously said there was a slight adjustment with the ball and the glove. He's definitely used to it now. He said he's looking forward to defending his slam dunk title in the All-Star game. He said, bring it on, guys. He's ready for it.
That's right. He is the defending. They didn't have it last year because there was no All-Star game last season in that labor lockout. And the shot with the Lakers enjoying their biggest lead of the night. Another rebound by Shaquille O'Neal. The Wolves have missed their last 6 shots from the field. Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, Brandon, and Garnett have played every second of the game. Sam Mitchell comes in for Minnesota. Shot clock is down to 8. Lakers on a 10-0 run with the 3 doused by Fisher.
That's what you got to like about Fisher. Here's a kid that gave up his starting spot, now comes out and contributes with a lot of energy.
Tom Hammonds the miss. Lakers on top, biggest lead of 9. Lakers shooting 63%. Rick Fox, his stroke has come back over the last handful of games, playing much better. Brandon fumbled by Garnett, and booted out of bounds. Turnover number 2 for Minnesota. Defensively, you know, the Lakers don't get a lot of credit, John, for their defense, but they are terrific defensively.
Well, they are terrific defensively, but what is extremely important is that Shaq's man's got to produce some offense in order to move him out of the post. I mean, you're almost like playing a one-man zone. If you're not concerned at all with his man scoring, he just absorbs everything that comes in the middle.
2 in a row for Fisher. That one good for 2. Off the bench, a quick 5. And anything he adds is extra for this team, and a timeout wisely taken by Minnesota.
Well, it's extra and extremely good attitude. Anytime a person is willing to give up his position, come in the game with that kind of attitude, that's the kind of player that a coach loves, because he's contributing to winning as much as anybody that starts the ball game.
And a timeout by Minnesota, down by 11. Difficult night last night for Shaquille O'Neal in foul trouble, and after the game, this is what he had to say down in Atlanta, criticizing the officials, and you can see the words, but the big word there is idiots. And
that's the key.
And that was a problem.
That's the key.
And I'm sure the league, although they have not officially fined him yet, will consider that. William Avery is in the game, the rookie first-round pick out of Duke, left after his sophomore year, and quickly nails his first shot. And anything they get off this kid is extra.
Anything they get off anybody that can help Garnett inside, I think is very much extra.
Bryant with the miss. They fight for it inside. It's reeled in by Shaq. The pump fake, the drive. Get out of the way when he begins to plow. But they call the foul on Shaq with the charge underneath, the first on him. What do you think?
Well, he certainly did run over him. It's just a question. It's just a question of whether the guy was behind those little dots there, sprinkled out there or not.
William Avery tries to swivel inside before he is met. O'Neal was there and Ori was there. As you see, Chicago on top of Philadelphia. Utah still trailing Indiana. And the foul, they go against Shaq for his second tonight.
Well, you know, and the sin in that last play was the fact that the Timberwolves are letting them get a second shot. You can't let a team like the Lakers shoot, get a rebound, and then be able to get a second shot. That might be a blessing in disguise because a foul was called on Shaq.
So here's William Avery, born and raised in the home of the Masters, Augusta, Georgia. And in high school, his teammates were Ron Mercer, Ron Strickland, and a host of players that have gone on to major college careers and are still there. He decided to leave Duke after just 2 years in the Krzyzewski program in Durham.
Well, he maybe could have used a little bit more cultivation, I think.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about born with a Masters where land of a hole in one. He didn't get a hole in 2 instead.
And a 2-point shot by Kobe Bryant. He's on right now. He's got 14 points in the game. And Bryant, 6 of 10.
Well, the Lakers start to press now, start to trap. You see Avery in the game. They know he's young. He's going to be a great player without a doubt. But then when the Lakers are going to step the tempo a little bit up and test this young fella a little bit more.
Nice move by Garnett, crashing into O'Neal. Picked up by Bryant, racing with Mitchell. Bryant, oh, what a pass to Shaq inside. Down for 2 in the foul.
Great pass.
He spoon feeds Shaquille O'Neal with a great throw.
This kid is just so doggone talented. I mean, he's looking to his right, throws a hook pass over his shoulder to Shaquille O'Neal. You say spoon-fed him. I thought you spoon-fed babies.
He is well, they are 2 fans. Yeah.
That's right, really. When you really start to think about it.
You got Shaq, who's 27.
Isn't that frightening? Don't even say it. It's so frightening. It is so frightening.
But here's a kid who's 27. Kobe is 20. Ori tries to save it and does with an acrobatic move and a pass to Fox.
You can't get out hustled for loose balls on their offensive end of the court, and that's what's happening.
And Ori fouls. He shoves Seeley out of bounds. That's the first on Robert Horry, the guy that played small forward and started for those 2 championship teams with the Rockets in '94 and '95. Here, they've made him a power forward in Los Angeles.
Well, it's very important to this team because they're thin in that front line, and particularly after Shaq.
And Garnett needs more plays like that to get this crowd and that team going.
Well, and exactly, and he needs more help offensively from the outside, because then he won't get doubled and tripled as you see Shaq being done, and he's not strong enough to cope with that the way Shaq is.
Look at Shaq passing out of that post and bobbled by Fisher and out of bounds with the turnover, number 8 for the Los Angeles Lakers to Minnesota's 2. Lakers 58% shooting for Phil Jackson. And the Timberwolves at 47%. It's Garnett again. Avery left wide open, but can't hit it. Shaquille O'Neal, John, is out rebounding Minnesota by himself. 11 rebounds to Minnesota's 8.
Well, and some of those, they're getting second shots at the offensive end, which is totally inexcusable. Youth is associated with intelligence, not with hustle. When you're young, you still can hustle.
Timeout taken. The best team right now in the NBA, the Lakers, up by 11. Fox out there with Shaq. Robert Horry with the ball. Bryant and Fisher at the point. And Fisher has it right now. Came off the bench for a 2-of-2 beginning, and Bryant has it with Sealy on him. Shot clock at 7 for Fox. He'll fire and knock it in.
And that's really trouble if he starts to hit and the rest of the Laker players start to hit from the perimeter, because you can no longer double or run back on Shaquille.
15-point lead right now equals the biggest Laker lead tonight, and a foul called on Rick Fox, who has seen his game come around, and he has revived what was a horrible beginning. And Minnesota had a great beginning, but a horrible second quarter so far.
Well, and I think they've been out hustled, and that's the problem. When you find yourself not getting loose balls, and it's one thing, if a team just beats you, but you can't just give away easy baskets after playing hard defense.
And it falls for Kevin Garnett. And he is looking for anything, I mean anything at all, to get this team ignited.
And that's one of those kind of anythings that if he does, we'll get it ignited, and he's pumping himself up.
Second foul on Horry.
Great pass, penetration. And he showed strength on that, because he absorbed a lot of contact and put that up.
Minnesota has not hit a single free throw tonight. They are 0-4. Here's a kid who was born and spent a great deal of his childhood in South Carolina, then went for his senior year in high school to Chicago and played big-time high school basketball in that city. And then, of course, the rest is history. Pro by the Timberwolves, pick number 5 in the first round. Sealy with some defense. That hustle, John, you're talking about is much needed now.
Loose balls. This is what you can't deflect the ball and let them pick it up. They can't shoot and get a second rebound.
Shaq back
as they did right back.
Big rebound by Fox. Lost it. Grabbed inside by Mitchell. Outside it goes to Brandon. Into Sealy, the drive and the 2. And a foul called on Kevin Garnett. His second foul. Basket does not count.
What is the foul?
Yep.
That's the kind of foul you definitely don't want to pick up, and particularly a key player like Garnett.
Rice has come back in the game during Fisher, Bryant, Shaq, and Horry.
They're trapping, it looks like.
Trying to at least manufacture something.
Well, you got to manufacture. Getting some of these balls off of the floor, they'll be just fine.
And that's an errant pass by the Lakers, who turn it over for a 9th time, much to the frustration of Phil Jackson, who really pushes Shaq. I mean, he's playing a lot of minutes, and Jackson wants nothing but perfection.
Well, and I think he's pushing a guy who he knows is capable. It's useless pushing somebody who doesn't have the ability, but when you push a guy who has talent, he should really thank you.
Good point. Garnett. It may have been knocked in by Shaq, but Nesterovich will get credit for the basket. Suddenly a 9-point game in single digits.
Yeah, they're trying to trap a little bit, and this is what Flippin said earlier, they were going to try to gimmick a little bit to offset a lot of the stuff that the Lakers are trying to run in their triangle offense.
Illegal defense blown on the Timberwolves. But Saunders, who has been a coach for 4 years, he was the point guard for those great University of Minnesota teams that featured, among others, Kevin McHale, who is the vice president and general manager of this team.
Well, he's going through a frustrating period right now. What they need is a win, and then I think you'll see this team's whole attitude on the court change.
Shaq splits 2 defenders. Robert Horry keeps it alive.
Kevin, this is ridiculous. You cannot play a team as good as the Lakers defensively as hard as they played in that possession and then let them pick the ball up so you can play them again.
Shaq snaps it out to Fisher for 3. Bullseye! Fisher right between the eyes.
Boy, I love the way Fisher's responding, you know, to being put on the bench. And it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing for the good of the team to get Kobe involved so he can play.
It's Garnett into Mitchell, over Fisher, and he makes it work inside with under 4 to play in the first half. And Mitchell, the all-time leading Timberwolves scorer in the history of this franchise, and a whistle, and a shove and a foul. It may have been on Mitchell, and it was.
Yeah, Sam is one of those kind of guys that doesn't believe he fouls anybody. No matter how hard he hits him or how hard he pushed him. Who, me?
Yep.
That's what I like about it.
John, isn't it interesting that in this game, the first quarter was authored by Terrell Brandon with 14. In the second quarter, off the bench, Derek Fisher, the smallest Laker out there, has put in 9. And what a great igniter he's been as Rice hits the first free throw.
Well, he's been tremendous. And again, as I said, you know, the fact that here's a man who gave up his starting position when the team was going well for the good of the team, then he comes in the game and he's not pouting or moaning and is still contributing. And that's what a coach is looking for, that's looking for a championship.
And that's the one thing, as we began the show tonight, so that's the one thing the Lakers have not been able to answer. Where is the championship?
Well, and sooner or later they're going to answer it, I think, with this young group, the nucleus of kids that they have, and with that kind of hustle.
Look at that hustle on the great defense by Derek Fisher. He's all over the floor. They called him the mop in college and now in the pros. And although he may not fit the exact kind of guard that Phil Jackson wants, when he gets performances like this, he loves the kid.
Pressuring the ball, he goes down on the floor after the ball, and he's creating energy, and that's and tempo. The Lakers are playing with a lot more life than they had before he came in the game.
3.5 to play in the half here in downtown Minneapolis. 48-36 the Lakers.
Well, interestingly enough, Kobe is doing more of the handling of the ball than Fisher actually is, and Fisher is really playing more of the 2 spot.
Backing in is O'Neal. Out to Bryant. Back to Shaq. Nesterovic and Seeley defend. Makes no difference for O'Neal.
Well, one of the problems that the Wolves have to be careful of is when they come back to help on Kobe, they come back to help on Shaq, the ball goes out. They've got to explode back out of there and touch Lakers. That's why they're getting so many offensive possessions after missed shots.
Horry is on Garnett. Bryant may come in double. An illegal defense is blown on the Los Angeles Lakers. Bryant was not covering his hole, and he was caught.
Well, that might have been a blessing in disguise because nobody for the Timberwolves were moving on the other side. And had that shot been taken, it had to go in because you had 5 Lakers sitting in the lane.
37-year-old Sam Mitchell. He'll sit out. Serbiak will come in. Sam, one of 14 kids and the father of 4 girls. He is a brave soul. Here's Brandon. Works inside on Fisher.
Got to get movement. Got to get movement.
Out to Garnett. Serbiak open to fire.
That's good. He had plenty of time that time and didn't need as much lift, but he definitely is pulling a little bit on that leg.
Lakers have led by as much as 14, up now 50-38. It's Rice with the paralyzing move on Serbiak. And then Serbiak came and did a nice job on defense and forces the 10th Laker turnover. Approaching 2 to play in the half.
Well, the Lakers probably are putting more pressure on the ball than actually the Timberwolves are.
Brandon for 3. Bryant up for the rebound, skying high. He's always lurking someplace. And this time popping it from outside. The rebound pulled down by Garnett. Brandon slithers inside. Seeley, Garnett, over Rice. Rebounded by the 6-foot Fisher.
Well, and I think when Brandon passed that ball, he was looking for Shaquille O'Neal, who was not there that time. Maybe he could have shot that ball.
Can't believe the number of minutes O'Neal puts in. Almost 40 a game. One of the leaders in the NBA. Rice driving inside, slashing to the rack, and a foul.
speaking of his minutes, he looks a little tired right now. I think he can't believe his minutes right now. But very seldom will you ever see a player tell you that he's playing too much, Kevin.
Seeley with the foul, and they're going to have Glenn Rice at the free throw line. Is John Sally, retired for 3 years and brought out of mothballs by Phil Jackson. Jackson had him in Chicago for one of those championship teams, knew what he could do, and they cut Benoit Benjamin and kept this guy coming out of retirement.
Well, and you're talking about experience. You know, Sally's been around. He has a ring. You know, he understands what it takes to win. You know, and he also understands when Shaquille is tired and he's got to come out and give him a blow.
EJ, the Jet, Mike Fratello, the Czar will have all the highlights from a busy night in the NBA. All this and more in the AT&T halftime report from Atlanta.
The value of a player like Sally is you can give him a minute of play and sit him down, he's not going to be powdered. If more young kids do that, they will become better players.
Brandon, that mid-range jump shot will not drop. Garnett is there, climbing the ball. The fake by Brandon, the drive on Fisher, the knockaway by Bryant, and 18 seconds to shoot with 1:03 to play in the first half.
Well, it's not a lot of movement of the people without the basketball, and the Lakers are just too big and too experienced, and you're not going to get many second opportunities if you don't move these people. Everybody's standing, but the man who has the ball. And this is what's going to happen when that happens because the help is in place already.
Here comes Bryant behind his back, dumps it outside. Rice for three, right down the middle.
Well, it's a great pass coming from Kobe. I think that's important in terms of championship for this team, that Kobe has got to be able to play with Rice, Rice with Kobe, and also Shaquille has got to be able to play very effectively.
So John, this to you is the real issue with this team. It's Kobe and Rice and how they can mix and match.
Well, and I don't think it's dissension. I think it's a question of getting them to play at a level of championship quality ball. This Laker team will not be evaluated, as I said at the top of the show, on whether they play well during the year. They will be evaluated on championship and championship alone. So in order for that to happen, the big three has to play well together.
Now, we were in Philadelphia a couple nights ago, and we saw kind of the same same scenario, and that was Larry Hughes and Allen Iverson having to coexist.
Well, absolutely. In order to play, because you're talking about guys who used to be in first option. If you look back at all of the championship teams that we've had in the past, the great Laker team, great Celtics team, they had a lot of first option guys who made the necessary sacrifices on given days to win that championship. And that's what's got to happen on the Lakers now, and that's what has to happen with Larry Hughes and also Allen Iverson up in Philadelphia, because both of those guys are top quality players.
Right now, Kobe has 14, Shaq has 14, and Rice 11. That's what you want to see. Nastarovich, final 30 seconds of the half, and it's been a good one. Seeley ditching the defense with the drive, and out of bounds, off of Minnesota, and back to the Lakers.
Well, Kevin, you said this Laker team is indeed a good defensive team. People talk about their offensive abilities, but they're a good defensive team.
Malik Seeley just picked up a technical foul. Playing on the play, he's played for 4 teams in 8 years.
Well, why not a technical? You might as well try anything. You lost 7 games, you're dropping behind at home. You know, hey, you try a little technical, that may work too. Bend the cake with everything now.
So Minnesota has, after a 5-2 start and a 7-5 November, gone winless in the month of December. 7 consecutive losses. They've lost 10 of 12. On the other side, for the Los Angeles Lakers, they have the best record in the NBA. Phil Jackson has orchestrated a 19-5 record, and they have won 11 of 12, including 4 in a row.
Well, and all this Timberwolves team needs to do is to catch a break, and I think you'll see the team playing at a totally different. They're psychologically whipped now, and they're not playing with the Jazz and the confidence that they played the last time that we saw them play.
Bryant with a dazzling array of moves, and he can't get it to go. Saves the ball, launches a 3. Rebounded by Anthony Peeler, and off his hands. Oh, off the Lakers, they say, with 2 seconds in the half.
You know, Kevin, sometimes when a team is going the way the Timberwolves are going, you've got to just stop thinking it's all-out hustle. You know, don't worry about form. Just put a lot of substance of hustling in there until you can just capture 1 win.
A dejected Kevin Garnett. But one of the big stories for the Los Angeles Lakers, this young point guard, Derek Fisher, carving up Minnesota with 9 points, 3 assists, a steal, and outstanding hustle. He was the difference in the second quarter. Thus the Lakers on top at halftime, 56-38. EJ, the Jet, and Mike Fratello next from Atlanta. Okay, here we go with Peeler feeding to Nesterovic. We do welcome all of our viewers in Slovenia. We're watching tonight. It's Anthony Peeler launching at 2, rebounded by AC Green. And here comes Kobe Bryant. Rice, Harper, Rice, and he hits. Anthony Peeler. Nesterovic. Oh, they're going crazy in Slovenia. Great play. Great play. Lakers by 18. Thank you very much. Wally Serbiak just hit a basket. He's got 4. Nesterovic hit 1. And the lead of the Lakers is down to 16, 58-42. It's Shaq inside. Over Nesterovic with that gentle hook shot.
Well, that's what's going to happen. They were reluctant to give the help that they ordinarily had been given. And Nesterovic by no means can guard Shaq by himself.
Brandon to Garnett. Kevin has scored 14. Brandon with 14, all in the first quarter. Driving with the move by Bryant, stationing himself well and knocking it in.
Well, that's the way he started off. If he can keep that going, they might be able to generate some form of a rally. But one thing has to happen is that they've got to get Shaq moving a little bit more when he's on defense, because he rests to play offense and rebound.
Rice for 2 with the miss. Rebound dug out by Peeler. He'll race the other way, float and feed to Nesterovic.
That's one of the things that has to happen. They have to move in a half-court set or get out on the break, and Shaq's got to become a little bit more active defensively, because defensively all he's been doing is standing in the lane and waiting until he gets back down on offense to play.
It is simply, John, showing energy.
That's exactly right. You have to get movement, and that's what Flip was trying to tell him earlier offensively, is to get some movement. Now the Lakers are getting movement, and that's why they've generated a foul.
Bryant fouled inside as we send it back to Atlanta, and Ernie Johnson Jr.
Foul is called on Anthony Peeler, his first personal, Minnesota's first team foul.
We're back on our international feed. A foul called on Peeler. And here is Kobe Bryant. For all of those of you watching in Italy, we grew up in Rome on Pellegrini Street. Bryant again. Right, John? Here comes Brandon.
Is that in Philadelphia?
Yeah. The drive across the lane by Peeler, swatted away inside. 6 Minnesota turnover. Rice for 2. Rebound by Kevin Garnett. Off to Terrell Brandon. They'll fly inside. Nesterovic. 8 points, 6 in the corner. And luckily for you people overseas, you're getting the Nesterovic debut. Oh, and a great shot by Kobe Bryant. Nesterovic has taken over this game. He has caught a Slovenian fire that we have not seen. And here's Rice. Here comes Harper. Kobe Bryant into Shaq. And the miss. Tap in try by Green. John, his performance has left you speechless.
It's definitely left me speechless. Listen, the thing that is good about what he's doing now is that he's forcing Shaq out of the lane, and he has to play him a little bit more because Shaq has just been planted in the middle, and this is what happens. They take an outside shot, and the Lakers get a fast break as a result of it.
Bryant the other way. Oh, what a deceptive fake by Bryant with the left hand. He can't get it to go, and Escarovich cleans it up. Here's Peeler, 3-on-3 with the trailer, and outside Brandon for 2.
Well, and they're starting to step the tempo up a little bit and making the Lakers move up and down the floor. And particularly, Shaq has to be involved in movement a little bit more defensively.
Lakers take a timeout. Their one-time lead of 20 is down to 65-52. This third quarter has done a great job in reviving Minnesota. 5 of 6 for the game. 8 points in the third quarter, John, with 3 rebounds.
Well, he's done a great job, particularly based on the fact that he hadn't been playing at all, and I think Shaquille did not give him any attention, and now he's sort of capitalized on that. But if you recall, Kevin McHale was telling us a story about this young man. When he went over to Slovenia to watch him play, the team that he played for discouraged him from taking him. He was looking at somebody else, and then he just focused on this young man and said, I want him.
And he's got it. After taking his team to the European title last spring. Double-teamed O'Neal. How will he get out of this? Handcuff out to Rice for 2. Right down the middle.
You see, and that again is the value of a player like Shaquille O'Neal. He draws 2, 3 men, and a guy like Rice who can shoot the ball as well as he can from a catch-and-shoot position. You just throw it out to him, and he has an easy shot.
Here's Peeler. Minnesota shooting 70% in this third quarter. Peeler can't get himself free. Garnett is free and gets his own miss. A fresh 24-second shot clock.
But they've got to get a little bit more movement because Shaq's got to move. Shaq's got to work, and that even helps him when they get on the offensive end. But if he can just play it there and not move.
Escarovich, the fake. And a rare third quarter miss with Bryant getting the ball. Kobe with 17, 3 in the third. Serbiak is on Rice. Mismatch size-wise. Harper, the advantage, will try to exploit it over Brandon. Rebound by Peeler.
Well, and when they're able to stop the Lakers and get out in their break, they're much better than when they're standing down and just looking around on the court.
Wally Serbiak, his dad played in the old ABA and overseas. Wally grew up overseas.
Yeah, and you can really tell that Wally's having a lot of trouble right now with that leg.
How about Rice? He's catching fire here in the third himself. He's at 3 in a row, and he's got 18.
Well, that's a bad sign for the Timberwolves because once he starts going, and you know Kobe's going to be able to penetrate as well as hit the jump shot, and Shaq is going to be in the post, the Lakers are unstoppable, particularly if they hit it outside.
Serbiak the miss. Garnett got the rebound. Whacked inside by Rice, and Bryant was there. Foul is called on Glenn Rice, and that is number 2, as you see Philadelphia beating Chicago. Second consecutive win for the 76ers. Indiana stops Utah's 7-game winning streak. And Toronto and Orlando, Charlotte and Cleveland, and the rest of the NBA on this Friday night.
Kevin, you know, everybody speaks about Phil Jackson's triangle offense, but he does a heck of a job with his defense also. These kids are very competitive defensively, and they challenge a lot of shots.
Straight up, straight up.
That is the second on Kobe Bryant. Brandon is a veteran, a 2-time All-Star in the NBA. But watch how subtle this fake is that draws the foul out of Bryant.
Well, and Bryant is such a good athlete, he is going to react, too, because he feels that he can block everything. He's still young. He feels that he can use his physical abilities. And Brandon did a good job to give a little subtle fake, and as a result of it, he got the young man in foul trouble.
It's the free throw. You know, Brandon was free to move after last season, after he was traded from Milwaukee here, but he didn't sign the big 6-year contract. And he wants to grow with this team.
Well, and there's room for a lot of growth the way they're playing right now.
That was very diplomatic.
Diplomacy was not one of the qualifications for me to be here. They'll be fine. If you want diplomacy, they'll be fine.
Sealy picked up the foul, his third. Bryant driving, cashing, flying, scooping it home. Kobe Bryant with another captivating play.
Well, and that's what makes the Lakers tough, particularly when Rice is hitting, because Kobe can hit the jumper or penetrate anytime he wants, and Shaq is virtually unstoppable in the posted position.
Garnett taking it inside. And a foul is assessed on the Lakers and AC Green. Watch this.
Well, in watching Bryant, the interesting thing about that is the Lakers didn't have much movement in their offense. The Timberwolves were standing in the lane, and Bryant, in his quickness and athleticism, was still able to penetrate and go to the basket and get a layup.
This week, John, Flip Saunders was quoted as saying, I need Kevin to kind of readjust himself and think about defense more than offense. But I was interested in your reply to that. Don't overreact to a slump.
Well, and I think the thing is that where's the offense going to come from? Brandon today came out and started to get on fire. But if he adjusts, who are you going to adjust to? It's like the 76ers saying Allen should adjust. You start to adjust. In order to adjust, you have to have teammates that are offensive-minded, offensively aggressive, and very effective. Kevin Garnett is the offense at times on this team.
Inside, Rice. Bryant is shackled, doubled, tripled, collides with Nesterovic, and a foul called on Nesterovic. That's the third on him. Bryant has been lifting weights. He is bulked up. He is much more cut now, John, than he has. And the kind of game he plays, the physicalness that he has to have, he needs to be that way.
Well, you can't appreciate this young man until you see him play. I mean, he's strong, he's quick. You know, he's got everything. Once he gets a lot more maturity, he doesn't need an awful lot, but he's playing with veteran players, and one of the best ways to learn sometimes is not from your coach, but from the guys that you're playing with that have been around. And he's got a lot of guys playing with him that have a lot of range.
Approaching 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Cheryl Miller, and our entire TNT crew. Great to have you with us tonight in chilly Minneapolis. It's Kevin Garnett from 20, nothing but net.
Well, he's a great player. The difference between what Kobe is in the situation where he's got some very experienced and talented players with him. Not that the players on the Timberwolves are not talented, but they don't have that kind of experience, and particularly championship experience.
Rice feeding Bryant with the defender in his jersey. Rebound is gobbled up by Garnett. Quick outlet to Brandon. Feeding inside and put down by Malik Sealy.
Anytime they're able to defend, get out and run, they're much better off against this Laker team than when they're standing around just isolating one person and going to that person because they only get one shot.
Lakers led by 20. Their lead now cut down to 13. Defense by Sealy. Bryant steps out of bounds. It goes back to Minnesota.
I like Sealy's attitude, his aggressiveness, and he's sort of meeting the challenge in trying to guard Kobe out there.
Well, a kid who was born and raised in the Bronx, you'd expect that kind of toughness and that kind of hustle.
Especially if he wants to stay alive.
The drive by Brandon. Swiftly moving down the baseline, slicing for two. Under 3 to play. We're in the third. And it's an 11-point game. AC Green. And a foul inside. Rice and Serbiak were really going at it, and Serbiak draws the foul. He was the number 6 selection in the first round out of tiny Miami of Ohio. Second on Serbiak. And a timeout taken on the floor. 2:48 to play here in the third. It's the Lakers, one time leading by 20, now by just 11. Back in Minneapolis, Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Cheryl Miller. Lakers on top now, 73-62. Good third quarter so far for Nesterovich of Minnesota and Glenn Rice of the Lakers. This broadcast tonight is going to Russia by the husband and wife team of Rakitov and Rachitov. Let's give a listen.
Буквально с 10 метров от площадки мы ведем свой репортаж. И еще один результат. Индиана выиграла у Юты. Вот, пожалуй, главная неожиданность этого утра. 89-74. Вот так вот были сильнее Пейсерс. 15 очков. Ну, а у нас все пока без изменений. На табло горят цифры только в пользу Лейкерс. Глен Райс увеличивает эту разницу. Делает это очень сосредоточенно. И да.
Hey, John, that is a one-sided marriage. She doesn't even get a chance to talk to her.
No comment. No comment.
Here comes Brandon out there with Sealy and Nesterovich. Working on O'Neal, finding his place. They doubled him, and it's out to Sealy, who is left open.
Well, and your point is well taken. You know, there was respect. They came to double in the post that time for one of the few times, and that's what happens. That's what Shaquille causes at the other end. He dumped it out and Silly had an easy shot.
Rotating, Bryant to Green to O'Neal. And a foul is assessed inside. Nesterovich trying to work up against Shaq. Lakers coming into tonight with the best record in the NBA at 19-5, a road record of 7-3. And O'Neal, who's coming off a 9-point game last night, 18 points, 12 rebounds, and a dismal 2 of 6 from the free throw line tonight for Shaq. What about John, the egos on this team and trying to mix O'Neal with Bryant, with Rice, and I mean all these guys?
Well, I think that's one of the key things that's going to determine whether they're able to win a championship or not. They're not going to be contenders, I said earlier, with just playing well during the season or just entering into the playoffs. But I like the way they deal with Kobe. You know, particularly, you can't smother the kind of talent that Kobe has, and he's playing with a lot of older, mature guys who seem to let him do his thing, but in the same token, keep him a little bit controlled within the offense. So that seems as though the egos are under control.
Hammonds is in the game for Nesterovich. No look pass. Garnett to Sealy. Again, he knocks it down. Sealy off the bench with 6 points, all in this third quarter for Minnesota. It's a 9-point game. They got it to single digits. Rice, hounded by Serbiak with the block.
Good defense gets you easy baskets down at the other end.
Brandon wheeling around defenders and popping. Garnett. Now they're on a roll. They're back in business with 1:27 to play in the third. It's O'Neal with the spin and the fire. Rebound by Garnett. Kobe's on Brandon. Garnett the screen. Sealy. It's Brandon for 2. Rebounded by Shaquille O'Neal, number 13 in his pocket tonight.
Well, interestingly enough, in watching it, it's almost as if the Lakers didn't realize that they were that close. Things were so easy. This team got things going, got the crowd involved, and now we've got a pretty good ball game going on here.
Rice has had a good third quarter. Shot clock at 2. He doesn't know it. Harper for 3. The miss and the rebound is devoured by Garnett. He's got 15 rebounds and 35 rebounds, John, in the last 2 games.
Well, that's the thing you have to respect about the kid. He doesn't mind doing the dirty parts of the game. Doesn't mind getting in that banging, rebounding, defending.
Sealy with a miss. Saved by A.C. Green. Just seconds left in the third.
And Garnett got a fingertip on that.
Here comes Bryant. Lost it out of bounds with a second to play in the third quarter.
You know, you're talking about the minutes that Shaq is playing. If you look at him now, he's actually walking up and down the court. You know, those minutes are great, but in the same token now, he appears to be a little tired.
Hammond. Garnett. But the Timberwolves are alive. They have lost 7 consecutive games coming into tonight. They have fallen so far, so fast. But Kevin Garnett with 6 points and 8 rebounds in that third. Pandemonium inside the Target Center. To the point we go. The Lakers now on top, 75-68. It is the holiday season, and no city celebrates this season like Minneapolis. The Holly Dazzle Parade every night from 6:30 to 7 goes right through the middle of downtown, and literally thousands of people line up in this vibrant community in downtown Minneapolis. We are in the Target Center, filled to capacity. The Lakers on top, 75-68. John Thompson, Kevin Harlan. Let's look ahead now in the fourth quarter. Take me to the Lakers side. What has Phil Jackson told his bench?
Well, the one thing I think that they have to increase their defensive intensity, but the only concern that I have is that Shaq looked extremely tired just before the end of the quarter. I also think that the wake-up call has come for the Timberwolves. I only hope that it didn't wake the Lakers up a little bit too soon, too, because they're capable of turning it on anytime they want to.
Len Rice had a nice third quarter for Los Angeles, putting in 6, and there you can see in the last 7 games the third quarter turnaround from what they've been going through, the nightmare that has been the last 7 games, and then John tonight.
Well, you need a win. I think anytime you feel bad for Phip Saunders, anybody who's sat on the bench understands that position. I mean, you can try to do anything, but you need a win. Well, once you get a win, psychologically, everything changes on the team. The guys start to play a lot better. The plays that weren't working start to work. The rebounds you didn't get, you start to be able to get those rebounds.
Here's our dilemma right now. The ball went into the crowd, and somebody has taken it and hidden it. So they had to go to the Timberwolves locker room, get a new ball, which they've done, and here we go.
Well, if I was a Timberwolves fan, the way they're playing, I wouldn't hide the ball now. You know, I would have hidden it earlier in the game. They're playing well now. Let the ball get out here. Maybe helping the Lakers, giving them rest.
Horry, Harper, Fox, O'Neal, and Fisher is in. Fisher was the
energizer
in that second quarter. He was magnificent. They need him again. He gets the pass from Shaq. Fisher, oh, he's an assassin.
Did you call that or what? He's the energizer again.
He has been an assassin off the bench, 4 of 4 with 11 points tonight. Brandon at the other end can't get it to go, and over the backboard, not a foul.
Well, you might want to get a little bit more movement. You might want to get a little bit of penetration because the Lakers are a little bit tired there, and you might want to make them work a little harder than that or stay on defense a little longer than that.
Here comes the shifty Fisher. Breaks the pass to Horry. Harper. They rotate to Fisher. Finding Fox. Into Shaq against the smaller Serbiak, who knocks it away. Tithing on the floor and gets it off to Garnett. Brandon.
He didn't take that shot, Kevin.
Serbiak plowing inside, feeding to Hammonds, and a foul.
Well, that's what happens when you go in. See, had Brandon taken that shot as quickly as he took the last one, they would have come up with nothing. But by at least throwing it inside or penetrating inside, you come up with a foul, you put yourself in a better position to create more scoring potential.
So at the free throw line is Tommy Hammonds, who races professional, races cars, stock cars during the offseason. That's what he'll do when his NBA days are over. Led at Georgia Tech. Bobby Crimmins missed the preseason with some heel injuries and is now facing O'Neal. That's harder than any car he's had to drive. And Tuesday night on TNT, it's the Suns and Spurs. Wednesday night, John and I will be in Miami, Utah, against the Heat on TBS. Tuesday, December 28th on TNT, the Celtics and the Kings. Catch all the action, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Turner Sports. Minnesota, John, a dismal 4 of 11 from the line.
Well, they have to make free throws. I mean, you definitely, if you work hard to hit yourself fouls, you need to make the free throw.
Rick Fox with the miss. Brandon will charge the other way with Garnett, Hammonds, Serbiak, and with the ball, Seeley into Kevin. Looking for Hammonds. Ill-advised pass in a Minnesota turnover.
And too many big bodies. Once 2 or 3 guys get around him, he doesn't have the body ball that Shaq has to be double teamed.
Harper. Nice move. Lost it inside. Picked up by Garnett. Here comes Serbiak. and fumbled it away on the breakaway.
Well, a lot of that had to do with his insecurity with his leg. He couldn't get his timing. He was peeping back because he thought the man could possibly catch him. If you look at him now, he's catching the ball. He's looking back at the same time that he's going forward, and that's not because of his hands. It's because he wasn't certain about his leg and his foot speed.
Never look back, right? Never, ever look back.
Well, particularly in that instance, you don't want to look back.
Timeout, Lakers by 9.
It's Christmas time, you know, it's a great time of the season. This is supposed to be a joyous time, you know, and I think just from the standpoint, the losses are sort of taken away from that. I think we got to enjoy the game a little more. You know, the game's played with passion and love, and, you know, I think we've gotten away from that. So, yeah, from that standpoint, yeah, man, this is a really big game for us. This could turn everything around, but we got to come in and do it, and we know Superman or Michael Jordan is not just going to walk into our locker room and say, okay, I'm here to save the day. We got to go out and do it, and that's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line, and they have not won in December. Here we go after the Los Angeles timeout. Fisher takes it outside to Bryant, driving inside to the hole. Can't get it to go. Rebound off Horry and off Los Angeles and back to Minnesota.
Well, Bryant does a tremendously good job of splitting set defenses. Without any movement, he still can drive and get through. He adjusts in the air. That's a tremendous attribute.
The rookie Avery from Duke with the miss. Garnett towering above everybody. Up high and down hard.
And now they're treating the Lakers a little bit like the Lakers treated them. I don't know whether that was the greatest shot, and particularly from him at this point, but Garnett made up for it by going in and rebounding.
Here comes Bryant working on Sealy. 7-point game. 9.5 to play. Little two-man game. Bryant and Shaq across the lane with power and muscle for two.
Well, the big fellow's just so strong. He takes that step, goes into the lane, gets hit, and puts it in. So this is him. He's set in the lane. The man is playing behind him. He just steps across the lane. He gets hit, and he's just powerful. He's strong. He's agile. I mean, he just has so much going for him. And by now, he probably realizes the game is in danger, and the adrenaline is flowing a little bit different.
I'll tell you what, coaches have been in danger when they've coached O'Neal. Phil Jackson is his 5th coach, John, in 8 years, but I think this one's going to stick.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I don't think anybody would mind taking a chance on losing their job and having him sitting in that center for you.
And a foul on Minnesota. Hammond's inside trying to clear out some room, and he was called for the foul. He's got 4. Not a lot of options off the bench for Flip Saunders tonight. Starovich is back in. Great third quarter. Let's see how he prevails here in the 4th.
Well, that's the tough situation that Flip is in. I mean, particularly in the post position. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of subs, and Shaq stays in there forever, and he's strong as Dickens, and you don't have anybody to put on him.
Shaq outside to Kobe. Doubled. Spins.
Beautiful judging.
It was. And it is a season-high 9 assists for Kobe Bryant tonight. The beneficiary there was Orton.
I love the pace. I mean, he went baseline, he pulled up, he hunted, he didn't force anything, and he threw it out. You know, last year he might not have done that.
Nice defense by Fisher right there, being the hustling player that he is. As you see Bryant, when he passes, this team flowers. They thrive.
Well, his energy level is needed, particularly because the Lakers got a little flat. Personally, I think they got so far ahead, they got a little bored. And now he comes in, Fisher that is, and really gives them a little bit more energy.
Avery with a nice move. But it can't buy him two. Fisher, here comes Fox. Buckle up. Oh, and he's held by Sam Mitchell. As he goes careening down the lane, the second on Sam. And so we'll see Rick Fox, a budding Hollywood producer, at the free throw line. So Rick Fox, who has had some better days shooting over the last 10 days. And you sometimes forget, a former #1 pick by the Boston Celtics. And when he joined Boston as a rookie on that team, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, and Larry Bird.
Which was a pretty good schooling, as they would say in the program. You know what I mean? That he had some pretty good teachers there to learn from. And now he's placed in that position where he's able to help a person like Kobe, or maybe able to help a guy like Shaq and the younger players. And that's what I think the Lakers do a great job of blending in the mature and experienced players to teach the younger players.
Lakers have made 13 free throws tonight. They lead the game by 13, and that's out of bounds in the Minnesota
Well, you can't make. I mean, they came down and took 2 shots that I thought were not great shots to take from the outside, and then you penetrate and lose the ball. I like the penetration, but I think it's got to happen off of a little bit more movement. You can't forget that that guy you call Shaq is standing there.
They were trying the alley-oop for the airborne Bryant. He lost it. Here comes Sealy. Minnesota's got numbers, and Brandon fumbles it away. Sealy tries to get it back in a foul.
Well, Brandon's having a little trouble with his hands, and that happens. You know, last time he dribbled and lost the ball, and now he comes down and he loses it off of a pass. That's the kind of thing that will drive a coach crazy, because you need that basket. You know, they were good down this end. They got the rebound. They got out. They ran. They had the numbers they needed, and they lost it.
That came in the Stephon Marbury trade and the 3-team deals. Well, Brandon, Sealy at the free throw line. You know, you almost look at these teams, you're almost playing now, John, Minnesota and the Lakers for different goals at this time of the season.
Well, they definitely are. I think that Minnesota's planning to have a good season. A good season is not sufficient for the Lakers. The Lakers have Kansas into the playoffs. They've got to win in order to say that they have a good season. Their real season will start once the playoffs start, because that's how they'll be evaluated. The Timberwolves will be evaluated in the regular season.
Which is not going well. Outside, Ori for 3. O'Neal, who's had just 1 rebound in the second half, can't get it. There's a foul called on Minnesota's Malik Sealy. He's got 4.
He's got 4 fouls, but I like him the way I do Fisher. He causes action for the Timberwolves. He's come out, he's active. You know, I'm curious as to why he's not playing a little bit more, because he definitely causes activity.
Again, O'Neal trying to muscle his way for room. Rebound by Kevin Garnett, who had 20 rebounds Wednesday, has 17 rebounds tonight.
Well, that's the thing I like about him. Saying that he wanted to be happy at Christmas. You don't get happy at Christmas from toys. You get happy from rebounding in this game.
Brandon with a defender in his face. Ori gets the ball. Out to Fisher. 3-on-2, and Fisher will slow it down. Wisely slow it down. Approaching 7 to play in the game. Ori. Out to Kobe. Open. Can't knock it in. Rebound by Kevin Garnett, number 18. Shaq has 13. Brandon. Mitchell with the pick by Fox. The hesitation. Lost inside. Picked up by Bryant. Feeds to Shaq and back to Kobe.
The Timberwolves just don't have their hands. They're losing so many balls that are uncaused losses.
12 turnovers for the game for Minnesota. 5 in this quarter alone. Shaq holds that ball like a pinball. Look at it.
Yeah.
Waving it like a wand. Ori. Altered the shot. Rebound by Sealy. Nesterovic.
That's the kind of thing that's got to happen, because he's got to get up and down the floor, call Shaq to want to run. You know, because Shaq is in a position now, he's played so many minutes that he's very tired. You either got to get movement off of your half-court offense, or you got to defend and get out in transition and make the big fella move a little bit.
Knocked away, and Shaq reels it in. Shot clock at 6. Kobe with it. He'll dance and fire. Rebound, Ori, but knocks it right back to Minnesota. Sealy with under 6 to play. The mismatch now. They got the
Shaq is standing in the lane, Kevin. Shaq isn't even guarding his man.
Garnett inside. A masterful move.
Great play, great play. And Shaquille was there and didn't jump, which is an indication that he is very tired.
Timeout, Los Angeles. It is a 7-point game with 5.5 to play. This place is spinning. The big lead of 20 for the Lakers, cut down to 7. Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves, John, on a 6-0 run.
Well, two things. If you look at Kevin Garnett here, he's getting ready to receive the ball in the posted position, but you want to watch Shaq. Shaq is not even guarding his man. He's in this position. He's going to end up going right to the basket. This shows how tired he is, because once he gets in a position where he's under the basket, then you just watch him. When Garnett goes to the basket, Shaq is in place to block it. He's too tired to jump at this point, and Garnett gets an easy basket.
Garnett tonight, 24 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, another double-double. Shaq with 20 points in 41 minutes. Rice and Bryant kicked it out to Fisher. They swing it to Ori. Shot clock at 10. It's Shaq inside to Bryant. The drive inside. Oh! He gives you a different move with every part of his body. Great play by Bryant.
I give it and I take it away. My God, he goes to the basket, hangs in the air. Shaq throws it out. I thought he should have taken the shot. He puts it up, hangs, shows the strength of the young man, and then lays it off of the glass.
Nesterovich picks up his 5th foul. Here's Kobe at the line. Hits the free throw. 24 points for Bryant, 20 for Rice, 20 for O'Neal. That's the kind of jockeying scoring-wise you want to see.
Well, exactly right. But also you're going to get a chance to see the Lakers defense. They're challenging now and going out and playing.
Air ball by Nesterovich, rebound by Rice.
And I think I'd want Garnett to take. I like Garnett's misses at this point of the game better than I like Nesterovich's misses.
Rice, Fisher is open. Garnett trying to defend. Shot clock at 10. Shaq is doubled. Kobe again. Shaq is in a straitjacket. He'll try to twist out of it. The shot, no good.
Can't let that happen.
Yep.
That's what happened early in the game, Kevin. You can't let that happen. You can't play defense, let them get the ball back.
Look at that move by Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Wow. A robust move by Kobe Bryant, and Shaq converts. 11 assists, a season high for Kobe. And a foul called on the Lakers inside the lane. What a pass.
Well, you look at him, he gets it to him. Kobe comes in, slides it out. The big man goes to the basket and puts it in. The thing that impresses me with this is that if you remember the old Chicago Bulls team that Phil Jackson had, everybody ran around talking about the triangle. But when game time came, it became Michael Jordan's time. I'm starting to see this happen a little bit with Kobe now. Maybe not to the extent that you could do with Michael, but the game is online, and it's becoming not the triangle, but Kobe time. They're really making Kobe and Shaq time at this point.
John, is this the kind of toughness that you want to see out of this team, which has not shown a lot of toughness when they've gotten to the postseason?
Well, it's certainly the kind of toughness they have to have, because this team is not only trying to beat the Timberwolves, they're trying to project the potential of the team in terms of how far it'll go later on in the year.
The question is, do they believe in themselves?
I think they do. I think they definitely are getting there.
But there's a process, and as Phil Jackson likes to say, it's the journey, not the reward, that is the true measure of success. As Peeler swipes it away from O'Neal.
And Shaq is great.
Oh! The big ticket! Flying high! 88-80. Minnesota won't give up.
They won't give up. They're still 8 points down, and Shaq's got to maintain his concentration because he is tired right now.
Rice deploys the shot. Rebound by Kevin Garnett. Now in the game tonight, Garnett has captured 19 rebounds. And another foul on Bryant. Number 4. Number 4 on Kobe Bryant.
Well, this is a great pass. I mean, he's throwing it to Garnett. Garnett has gotten down the floor and beaten the Lakers' big guys back in transition, and that's the thing that they have to do. They can't just stand back and play slowly in half court against this team. Motion in half court with a lot of movement in their offense to move people. Then they can use that quickness even to get to the offensive board. But if you let them stand in the lane the way they are now, they've got 5 guys standing back. If it doesn't make that, you have a problem.
Kevin Garnett has taken over this game. 28 points. Minnesota to within 6.
What did he say, Kevin? I want to be happy at Christmas time. This is the way you do it. You play.
Bryant doubled, suffocating Minnesota defense. Shot clock at 7 for Rice. Bullets it into Bryant. Big basket by Kobe Bryant.
Kobe wants to be happy at Christmas time also. He says, I have a chimney. Santa Claus does come to my house too.
Nesterovich. to shoot. Brandon Fultz and fires. Garnett comes out of the pack, but it's swiped away by O'Neal. Two and a half to play. What will Bryant cook up here? Garnett saves it as he hurdles his body out of bounds.
What hustle, what hustle.
It's Peeler to the rack.
Kevin Shaquille can hardly get down the court. He's been out there so long and played so hard that he's really worn out.
Fisher left uncovered, untouched, but can't get it. Retrieves the rebound, a fresh 24. Off of Garnett and out of bounds with 1:38 to play.
You know, as hard as they're playing, Kevin, I'm saying that Shaquille is tired, and he's definitely totally jaded, worn out. But all of these kids are tired as hard as they're playing.
O'Neal's played 45 minutes. Won a game in Minneapolis. Lakers by 6. All night long by both teams.
Well, yeah, if you look at Kevin Garnett, this is a superstar diving into the crowd, trying to get his hands on a loose ball. As a result of that, they end up getting an easy basket down at the other end. And those are the kinds of things. It's one thing to talk about you want to win. It's another thing to put forth the effort, Kevin, to win.
Kevin Garnett tonight has grabbed a career-high 21 rebounds. He has scored, willed his team with 28 points. And what has been a breathtaking effort by the Timberwolves, who come into tonight having lost 7 consecutive games. The timeout story: 4 for the Lakers, 3 full and a 20, 3 for Minnesota, 2 full and a 20 themselves.
Well, a lot of athletes have given the win speech, but very few have put forth the effort that this kid has put forth tonight to try to make it happen.
Well, they foul Shaquille O'Neal with Hammonds. Now, this is a tactic that a lot of teams, John, have used, this hack and shot. Put O'Neal at the line, stop the clock. He's a 42% free throw shooter. You're going to get the ball back, hopefully, and tonight he is 2 of 9, as you can see.
Well, see, and based on how he has shot free throws, that's good. But sooner or later, the courage within him comes out. He's willing it in.
Lakers have not had a close game like this since the Sacramento game 10 days ago out in California, so they need big baskets down the stretch from the line. And right now, O'Neal is in the spotlight. And he gets 2.
And he stands at the bench. Stands at the bench. I love it. The big fella stand up and said, foul me again.
Unbelievable. It's Serbiak with a shifty move. Peeler for 2. Rebound by Robert Ory. And now we're down to 1:16 to play.
You know, you talk about Shaq's free throw shooting. It's not always how many you made. It's when you can make them sometimes that's important. And the great ones find a way to make them sometimes, as that is the case.
What great swagger he possesses. Glenn Rice, who has 22 points tonight, his first points of the 4th quarter. And the Lakers needed it in a big way. Their lead is back to 10. Coming up next, the Inside NBA Show with Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet. You can see the Jet right there on the side, and they're missing Mike Fratello, brought to you by Hyundai.
And how about this side? You're big in this town. I tried to use your name to get in the hotel room last night. I knew you were so big here. The lady threw me out the front door.
That's very kind. I had 9 good years here.
Hey, this is your town, too. This is your town, and they really appreciate you. This deserves.
Maybe Shaq's time in this town. 46 minutes tonight. He's played great. Peeler tries to chisel something inside. Wipe it away. Whistle was blown. Foul is called.
I like that better than the last shot Peeler took. He came down, took a deep jump shot. Got nothing out of it. By penetrating to the basket, you're going to get a foul, maybe get a switch and dump it low to somebody.
Lakers are plus 12 in free throws made tonight, which is a key, as Anthony Peeler If you take a look at Shaq, who moments ago just nailed 2 beauties. He's 4 of 11 from the line, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 46 minutes. His tank may be empty, John.
Well, his tank is empty, but also Phil knows that they're intentionally fouling and feeling that he has enough points to win the game. If they take care of the ball, he's going to force them to play a little bit more than just fouling Shaq. But he has the right to be tired because he played the whole game and he played the game hard.
8-point game, full court pressure employed by Minnesota. Serbiak plays a little defensive football there with the tackle, and he picks up his 3rd foul of the game. You know, Bryant, as we mentioned before, John, had missed the first 6.5, 7 weeks of the season. And one of the big questions swirling around Los Angeles, how would he be incorporated in this team that already was playing well? And furthermore, how would he and Rice share minutes and shots?
He'd be incorporated quickly.
Yes.
That's how he'd be incorporated. This kid has too much talent. The only thing that he needs is a little bit more maturity. But I love the way that the players who are much older deal with him, because you can't suppress that natural ability that he has. And he's got guys playing with him to fill some credit who are mature enough to handle him in the right way and bring him along and yet still let him use his talent.
8 of 9 now. Bryant tonight from the stripe. Brandon goes careening the other way. Rejected by Robert Ory. And he is trapped, and he gets it out to Kobe Bryant, who feeds to Rice. Peeler is there. You can almost see the white flag going up. Ryan again. Bobby Jackson defending. Kobe can't whack it in. Picked up by Serbiak. And a half minute to play. Brandon into Bobby Jackson for 2.
Just a question to keep away now. Oh, my goodness.
Well, let's see. Here comes Peeler for 3. Rice grabs the ball, colliding while airborne with Jackson. And Minnesota, the worst, or one of the worst, 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. In fact, they are dead last. Coming into tonight, 0 of 6 shooting 3-point shots. And John, somewhere, Flip Saunders has got to have that in his arsenal. Somewhere he's got to have a guy that can knock in a 3.
Well, and particularly when you have a kid as talented as Garnett, because that gives Garnett a lot more flexibility when you're able to open up things from the outside. But, you know, these guys need to catch a break, too. I think they played hard. They came back. They showed a lot of guts. Early in the year, they showed that they were capable of playing, although a lot of the older teams are now getting in shape. The longer you go in the NBA season, a lot of the guys don't come in camp with the kind of conditioning that it takes. The further you go, the better the test. But he definitely does need outside shooting, and it's hurting by Serbiak being hurt.
Los Angeles Lakers will win their 5th consecutive game. Their 12th win in 13. They've got the NBA's best record at 20-5. And Shaquille O'Neal leads them again tonight, 24 points. Kobe Bryant had 28, and Glenn Rice had 23. All told, 75 points of LA's 97 tonight. That is picture perfect to the Lakers and Coach Phil Jackson as we send it over to Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Well, Kobe last night, 30 points against Atlanta, 28. You had a career-high 11 assists. You guys are up as much as 18. What message are the Lakers trying to send around the league?
We just want to win. That's all we're concerned with. We're just trying to practice hard every day, get the system down. We're still not fluid in it yet, so we still have a lot of room for improvement.
Coach Jackson said that he really wanted to see how this team was going to respond on the road. How has the team responded so far?
You know, we're doing a pretty good job. In the past, with moments when I had mental lapses and cost us the game, we tend to buckle down this year and really, you know, put teams out when we're supposed to.
Well, what's scary is that you have 20 points, and then Shaq contributes 20, then Glenn Rice. Once you guys start clicking on a regular basis, who can stop the Lakers?
Nobody, but it's just a matter of dissecting the team. We can't really be concerned with the scoreboard. We really have to be concerned with ourselves and how well we improve in this offense and on our defense.
All right, enjoy the win. Congratulations. Let's go back to you, Kevin. John?
All right, Cheryl, thank you very much, and a nice job by you tonight. A big night here for the Los Angeles Lakers. John, looking like the best team in the NBA with a win tonight, 97-88. Our producer tonight, Jay Huber. Our director, Lonnie Dale. Special thanks to Dennis Stone, Kalen Wright, Jeff Paris, Casey Carter, and Kevin Conlon. And now for Cheryl Miller and John Thompson, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Minneapolis. Right now, it's inside the NBA with Ernie Johnson Jr., Kenny the Jet Smith, and Mike Fratello. The Lakers go to 20-5, their 5th consecutive win, winning in Minneapolis 97-88.